After making this vintage inspired junk journal, I really want to go and work on the inside. I want to use all the small projects I have been making lately, like these. So let's go and dive into making collaged frames. Hi and welcome. My name is Marian, and today I'm going to work in my inside of my journal, and I'm going to use frames. I'm going to make two videos, two short ones, I hope, instead of one long, because I have so much to tell you about the frames, and today I want to zoom in on collaging them. So these ones I already did, and this one I made a book out of it, but it started as a collaged frame. And of course on the front of the journal there's also a collage frame. And I also want to use with the frames, because these are not finished, some paper dolls, because recently I found them again and I have used them very seldom, but I thought in this journal they would be lovely and they give a very excellent vintage vibe. And I have already selected a paper doll to go on the inside. Very cute little girl, I thought would look excellent on here, because this spot needed something and I thought this one would be very excellent here. So I'm going to distress the edges a little bit, just to have that white edge gone. And probably you already see a nice card in there. And I have also found that again, because sometimes I'm going through my stuff, even though I've not been collecting that long, but well, it's piling up, it goes very quickly. But I found again, of course, these paper dolls, and I found this card, and I bought it at a little flea market last year. And it was a summer holiday, and I was in Italy, in Siena, and I was in the town square, or it was off the square, a small flea market, and just some lovely old stuff was sold there. And there was a very nice guy selling old cards. And at that time I was only kind of thinking about, well, should I do something creative again, because I have stopped for a long time being creative. And but I was, you know, it was inside, it was like wanting to surface. And yes, I thought, let's be creative again, but I didn't know exactly what to do. So when I would be at that flea market today, I probably would have bought more than just, you know, a few cards. But there's going to be a lot of flea markets, so look at that. Really lovely. I like it. So I think this was really a nice missing element, space filled. And look at that. So this card, this is a really vintage card, and this is, I googled the name, Tina Di Lorenzo, and she was an actress in silent movies around the 1900s. So it is very old, it is really vintage. And yeah, so I'm not going to do anything with it. Don't want to glue it down, or maybe I'm going to make some fold map around it, but it's going here for now, because I want her to be part of this journal. So I want to make collages, and I want to put a frame here, and I also want something here. And frames are very excellent to collage on, because you already have this middle piece cut out, so there's only a small surface. So for starting or for quick collaging, it is a very excellent to work with. And what can you use to collage with? Well, what can't you collage with? Because it is really a lot. Beginning with papers, all kinds of papers. So if you have books, go to a thrift shop or go to your bookcase. It doesn't have to be old or vintage, because we can make things vintage. If you find it, it's of course very nice to use, but you can use all kinds of books. Music paper is also very nice to use. You can, if you don't have it, you can maybe buy some printables from Etsy and use that. And furthermore, there are napkins, all sorts, tea bags, which you dried, or tea bag paper. Wrapping paper is fairly cheap. And then you can also make your own collage material by stamping and inking paper or tea bag paper. You can keep packaging from birthday presents or whatever. If you don't have enough, you can ask friends or family. All the things that are used with wrapping presents are also very nice to keep. And besides paper, you can also use lots of other items like fabric, like lace. You see here, you see a ribbon, twine, all kinds of yarn, buttons. There are so many things you can use. You can use all sorts of texture paste, washi tape. And of course we have hardware like staples, brads, eyelets. Oh, there's really so much, but I don't want to go into overwhelm. So we are just going to do paper, and I'm just going to use my scrap box that is filled with all kinds of paper. Besides the collage materials, it's also good to have a kind of glue you're using. And I have some different kinds of glue. And I know a lot of people use glue stick, but I don't particularly like it. It's just really a personal preference, because it works, I think, also very good. If you have any experience with different kinds of glues, please let me know. I also have this thick gel medium. And recent purchase was this Mod Podge. And of course I have my arts. My preference is this Mod Podge, because this is a thinner than this gel medium, and I can use a brush to put the glue on. And I like using a brush, and maybe that's why I have preference for this one. So this is the one I'm going to use. Further, you don't need a lot of other stuff, scissors, maybe a tweezer if you want to pick up some little bits. We're going to do a lot with our hands, the tearing and everything. And of course, for making the shapes of the frames, you can use a ruler and scissors if you want to cut it to size. But you can also use your die cuts if you have them. Just go through them and combine all kinds of shapes you have. I want to show you some different options of what you can put behind the frame. You don't have to put something behind it. You can just make the frame, put a cutout like the paper doll, something else on it, and then use it in your journal. But you can also use a background. That's what I want to do, and I will want to let you see some different options. You can use just about anything for it. But I have here from Tim Holtz an ephemera pack. This one is called Palette, and I didn't use it that much, so I have a lot of stuff left. But there are some really lovely flower cards, and this will make a really nice background. So this is an option for sure. And the nice thing of the frame is that you can just put it above anything and just look at it and see if you like it. So I can go through these and see if there are any options. Then another possibility are paper packs, because paper packs have very various kind of papers in them. And this is the Paperpack Shabby Botanicals by Poole. And it has this paper in it, and I immediately like this one. And I think this is really lovely. It also depends on how I'm going to collage the frame and then see what fits best. But this one is certainly an option. It makes more a romantic, dreamy vibe. But what I also like is the kind of is this a kind of a ledger or a bill? And if you can see with the writing, I do like the writing on it. So this totally different, but also an option. So that's also something to consider. And then I have this big paper pads from Vintage Emporium, and these has so many different things, different backgrounds. This is really has a real vintage vibe in it, and it has like envelopes, which can also be, it's very nice. Some text. You can look at what kind of text is more fitting. And let's see, it has some cards with flowers, but it's kind of the same as Tim Holtz. But I do like this text. And this also, can you see this? Really a possibility. So I have to think about it. Also have to collage it first and see what then is the best option. But there are lots of things to choose from. But I'm gonna make a choice when I'm ready with the collaging. This one I want to have just as the first page. And of course I have to do something on the back, but this is going to be the first page. Then the second page, I did some preparing. I also have two seated, a boy and a girl. And I want to have one here with the girl and one here with the boy. And these two frames, I'm gonna leave the dolls in here so I won't lose them. These are collaged with the napkin, and I want to show you how to do that. So because these two are of course ready, and I have die cuts. I just did die cuts this, and these are from two different sets, and I'm going to show you. This is the bigger circle is from the Pizzabox from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I have chosen the die set because it has the Pizzabox. It's really nice to have, and it also has a lot of circles and squares you can always use. And then these sets, you already know I have this set. And this is also very versatile. It is with the envelope Postale. And this is so versatile because it has also a lot of different sizes of rectangles, 4 sizes. And I have one here. and I have the circle. I thought, let's combine these two and let's see what we get. So I've just run it through the die cutting machine. And let me get these out. Then of course I also have like a nice shape I'm going to use again. Probably, let's put that here. I have a little tray where I put those things in. That die cuts to the sides. This is used. And then I have this shape. And I don't know if this is very nice, but let's see. Because I think I want to do that with the boy. Can be like this, or it can be maybe like this. This is nicer because it fits. You see, this is nicer, and then the legs can hang around there, and then this opening becomes very interesting of this shape here. So this one I also want to do like this, and I was just wondering if I want to use the same basis or not. Let's pull out my box, and really my box really needs to stand here, this side, as I'm used to, because it just has a little place here where it can fit. Right. You cannot see it, but the box is standing next to me, and I have here, I have this, because I was wondering if I maybe want to use this. I can use this, or I can use this one. And maybe just to show you the difference, because this is a napkin with 3 layers, and the first layer is this, and then the second layer just has this little print in it, and then this becomes this. You probably could not guess it from how you see it, how you can see it. You see the shapes in it. And then the third layer is a white one. So let me show you the difference. Then I'm going to do a little bit to size. Tearing with your hands is just probably the best. And put this on here, and I can show you how I will get this effect. Then I'm going to use my Mod Podge and my brush. And then, because I don't want to put the glue on and then the glue dries too fast, so I'm going to give it a little spray, but I'm going to do that not on my desk because I don't want things to be wet, so I'm going to do that just next to me. It's just a little mist. You can see there's just a little bit of water on it, and also saves some glue, I think. Like when you are experienced in doing wallpaper, you probably know what I mean when I do things like this. And then it's just putting the glue on. And then putting this on. Doesn't even have to be really precise. And then a second layer of glue on top, and then you can really press it. And I'm also gonna press it on the sides because we have a really nice edge. And the last bit here. It's already tearing a bit, but it doesn't matter. And then it just needs to dry. And that's like the first part, and you can use your heat tool if you want to dry it. I'm going to do that off camera because then I can just keep going. So that only took a minute, and because it's nice to have it dry when you are removing the tissue, so only on the outside, and you can just tear it off because it is a vintage vibe frame. It doesn't have to be so neatly cut, so you can just tear it. And the shape helps a little bit. And I'm just going to tear it off. And then we have this. You can do it a little bit neater, and then just but you can also then take a little bit of glue and go like this. Can you know if you can see it? If you have the, I still have a bit of glue, and then you can do like this, and then you get the nice edge instead of all these little bit of paper. It's very hard to pull everything, but if you do it just with a little bit of glue, well, my brush is now a bit drier, then you can just, well, just let's do it. Have a little bit of glue on my brush, just needs a little bit, and then you can just there's also a little piece that needs some glue. So you can, if you want to have this edge, because it's really nice to see, then you can do it like this. And it's finished like this. So we still have this, and we're gonna leave it. Don't cut it right now. I will mostly use my very pointy tweezers. I use them for a lot of things. And then you can just tear it, and then you start in the middle. It's better to do it with this than with the scissors, because with scissors you cut too much when you cut sharp edges, and we don't want straight or sharp edges. So we're just going to break it in the middle, and then with the fingers you can just push it to the side. It's just, well, there's no real science to it, it's just really long bits you can tear off. And then it's just what you like. Then you have a little bit of these edges. See? And then you just shape it as how you want it. If you get it a little bit wet, or maybe with a little bit of glue, you can make just, then it will stay like this. If you want that. So, but now we can fold it a little bit inside, because we don't want to have it caught in the collaging. And let's go, and now we have 3 frames, And now we can start with the collage. So let's collage these 3 frames. I have my Mod Podge here. And for brush and for sake of time, I have already selected some scraps here, and something with text, something light, something dark, music paper, napkin, tea bag paper. This is tea bag paper I've just sprayed on with ink, distress ink, and it's nothing fancy, just spraying and letting it dry, but it's just for color. And then I have these new tissue papers, which I have stamped with various stamps. So let's go, and I'm going to start with this bigger frame. And let's see, I'm really drawn to this. So let's see if I can tear something out. And maybe I'm going to do this in a speed mode, because, you know, it takes some time to collage these. But this is kind of the idea, just putting little pieces on, and then let's see, maybe some black texts. I like that. And I do have some stamps here, which I can use. Let's see, the round one. Collaging always makes a really nice mess on your desk, but I love it. But this is, I couldn't let you see every little bit, because then the video will take like a half an hour just collaging the frame. But here you can see I took just from everything really little tiny pieces, and then just collaging until you are satisfied. So a way to collage is, I have already the colors that I want, and I let them surface on different areas. So you get kind of a coherent, even though it's all little tiny things randomly placed. If you put something red here, you put something red here. I don't even think about it. It's going like, for me, it's automatic, dividing the colors and the patterns. But if you find it difficult, you can just do that. Say that here needs a little bit of green, then I'm also going to do it on the other side, and just let the colors randomly pop everywhere. And also different kinds of figures, like more swirly figures or text or whatever. So you can just play with it. And you can collage until you're satisfied. And I'm going to leave this dry. And then I'm going to cut the pieces that's sticking out. I'm going to cut them off. And in the meantime, when this dries, I'm going to make these two the same way as I did this one. And then I'll come back to you. Finished collage. I need to cut it, the sides. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to ink the edges. So this is the big frame. This is the frame with the rectangle. This is a bit darker. And this one is a bit lighter. So I'm gonna cut the frames, and I already was looking for a nice background. And I found that I could use for all three out of this paper that you saw earlier in the video. So I'm also gonna cut that out. I like this flower for behind here. And I like this little bit of kind of an ochre color background here on this one. You can see this, yes. And for this one, I want the lighter gray green because it brings a little bit more, how do you say, it's not that busy, so it balances it out. So I'm going to cut it, cut the collage and edge it, and then I will come back. The frames are cut and inked, as you can see. And then it looks very nice. And I inked with the Distress Oxide walnut stain, because this has some warmth to it. The Scotch Timber is very dark. I like it. I use it a lot. But with this, I wanted to have some of that red undertone, that it's a little bit warmer. So I etched the inside and the outside, and also the edges of the paper dolls. This one. And I really like this round one. This is really nice. My favorite. I cut the backgrounds to size. It looks a little bit weird, but I had to cut some corners off for the round ones. And I thought about doing something extra. Yes, I've changed my mind, but I do that a lot of times. But it's just a creative process. If you put things together like this, and then with this cute, I will put it close up in the camera. And I was thinking about this girl, not putting it on the edge like here, but putting it more in the middle. Not exactly, but more that you also have some bit of the frame here, which you see gives another interesting look. And I thought, well, this could be it, huh? Like this could be done. But I thought, let's see if I can do something extra. And I got an idea. And I have some ribbon. I have in earlier videos you saw that I bought this. And I have cut a piece off, and I thought about tying a little bow. And let's see how this will work. And I'm not really good at this kind of these things, tying bows, but let's see. And the color is really fitting, and I'm a little bit struggling here. Yes, there's a really nice, oops, there's a really nice bow, and I will cut these pieces off, and then this will be, so I'm going to make this into a really nice bow and then glue everything together. This is going to be the girl. For the boy, I have this background. The other background was too small. And then this will go here. And then the boy is going like this. Just, you see just a tiny bit of the frame. And then I thought, well, I have to do something here extra for the boy as well. So, but I'm going to first glue everything together, and then I'm going to put some of this. I have, did I tea dyed it? It could be that I tea dyed it, or I used vintage photo on it. It could be, I can't remember. But I will put a piece of this, cut it off, and I will put this on the side. And I think I'm going to attach it with some staples. Put it on here, and then I have a safety pin, which I put some alcohol ink on. And I was thinking about putting that in. So that will be for the boy. And for this one, this is going to be like this. She's going to be here, and I can move around a little bit, but I don't want to put her too close to the middle. I think about here. And I'm going to do something here on this side. I already thought about it. Well, in my sleep I thought about it. Because when I woke up I had an idea of doing something nice here. But I'm going to show that to you at the end. So I have done a lot of stuff off camera, and I'm sorry I cannot film everything, but I am a crafter that likes to take her time, and if I have to film everything, then you have to sit for hours and watch me. So but let me take you to the final finishing touches and look at these two cuties. So first we're going to do these two. So this one is finished. Everything is glued and edged and everything. And this boy. And I want to do something because with the girl I have the bow edited, and I want to also add something here. And I thought about putting some of this stuff on it. And let's see. I thought just to staple it. And haven't really thought about how, but I'm just going to do it and see how it will turn up. Let's have it stick out a little bit, and then just put some staples in. Let's see. Don't want to make it too wide because then we wouldn't see the collaging. That would be a shame. Let's just see if it will get through this thick layer. Yes. And then maybe two, because I don't know. Should I do two? Yes. And then one not that perfect. A little bit like this. Yes. And then do the same here on this side. And then this and one below. And then cut it off. As you can see, cut it off. Not really straight-ish, but let's see if I can tear it a little bit. And yes, like this. Seems very nice like this. Okay. Little. And then I have these paper clips. I have a big one, smaller one. And let's see could also do both, but I think that would be maybe a little bit too much. Let's start with the smaller one. And let's just put that in. And then just, let's see how this looks. Oh, I'm sorry, I was just looking at the picture and not at the screen. I think this looks very good. I think I will just leave it like this, and yeah. Okay, so if it's good, don't do anything more. And then the page, I'm going to put these two cuties on. I've already collaged it. So I have used all the collage material, the same material as I had for the frames. I just tore some pieces and just randomly put them on the page. But then it looked like that it was not cohesive. So I stenciled, and I will show you, it was this stencil. I also showed it with the journal project, and this is from your creative studio. And let's see, what else did I use? And I stenciled with vintage photo, so just randomly. So it's bound it all together, and then with a black fine liner I just drew some lines, and that made it entirely one thing. And then with these glued on the page, it will pull it all together. What do you think? I like it. I'm really satisfied with this result. I'm not usually one that will do cutie things, like having little girls and boys and in the picture, but I do think this is really lovely and really adds to vintage vibe. And well, just have to glue it now, right? So let's do this one first, and I hope this will glue, because it's really thick. And so let's put on a layer. And position it, and then just press it. Let's see if this will stay. I think it will. Looks good. Now the girl. Let's position it, and here, yes, and then press. So this is the page. I can see that it's, maybe I can put some glue behind it later. Let's see. It sticks out a little bit. Let's see if I can put some glue behind, because it's uneven in thickness. So might need some additional gluing. And if this doesn't work, I will glue it later and put something heavy on it, and then sometimes it just needs a little weight on it. This one also comes up. Yes. Just put on some extra glue. Of course, there's always a challenge with these kind of projects, is the gluing. Let's just hold it for a while. And then we go to, I saved the best for last, to the other page. The first page, because this is the second page. And let's go to the first page. Also collage this. And I've used the tea bag paper that I have stamped and inked. You saw before. And just strips of the music paper. I just tore everything by hand. Guided it a little bit and sometimes not. And then it's like a puzzle. And see what fits and what, and just I laid it out on the paper. I glued it with the Mod Podge, so that's why it's also a little bit looks like it's a little bit stained, but of the color in the Mod Podge. And I have put a little bit of paint on the white of the music paper. I think it's because of this reddish color. And this was white and it just didn't fit. And I just took my my aged mahogany, put some water with it on my matte surface, and just with a brush I'd like swiped over it. No real science to it. So that's the collaging. So it's not really complicated. It just takes some time to do it. And then I have the frame. Really nice, right? I really love this one. Love this frame. And at first I wanted to put it in the middle, but then I thought I like it a little bit here. But then I have the tendency to put something here, so I need to make something for that. So I did, and I made this label. And I will show you what I made this from. It is the cardstock. It is a cardstock from a backdrop from Tim Holtz that already has a little bit brownish in it. I think it's the number 1. And then I took the stamp from this set from Poole. This stamp. I stamped on it, and the label is the biggest one from this die set, label die set, that I've also used a lot for making the frames. These ones, really versatile set. So this I'm going to do here, and I'm just going to glue it because there are already a lot of brads and eyelets on the other page. So I'm just gonna leave it like this because I'm going to do something with this frame as well. It is nice as it is, but we can just see if we add to it, if it will enhance it, and I think it will. So I can I will glue this later. I just want to do the frame first. And what I want to do is I'm going to poke some holes in it. And I'm going to leave you in the excitement of what's going to happen. Where is my glue pin? Oh, here. Let's put that in. I have some twine. And it's always very tricky, this, because it attaches to everything you have on your desk. So I have to get it carefully. I'm not going to use everything. And I'm gonna put some holes in the frame and put this twine through. And I have my little felt mats for under here, my pokey tool. And I did a little bit of preparing, and I made some dots, so I know where to poke. So just going to do that, poke through the beautiful frame. Yes, you need to dare it. And I'm going to poke it because then it becomes a little bit more irregular than when I do it with a crocodile, because I want it to not be perfect. Let's see, and then here, and let's see, where is the dot? Here, I think, and here. As long as the twine is going through, then it will be okay. Going to be very hard to glue this also. Let's see. I want the thread to end there. Here. And we're going just, I don't know exactly how much I need. And what I did is the tip of this thread, I just put some glue on it, some art glue, so this is a little bit harder and I can get through the holes. Guess maybe you are wondering how I'm doing this. And not put it really tight because of the elements I'm going to add. And this is also going to be something I'm going to do in the next video. So it's kind of a, let's see, is this what I want? I think I may need another hole here. Going to add a hole here. This is how I craft. I just have an idea, I'm executing it, and then I think, oh, I need to adjust it, add it. The idea in my head is never, I can say, the end result. Yes. And then, let's see, because I want the threads coming out in the front, so I also need one maybe a little bit closer here. So you can see how I work. Okay, this is a little bit tougher. Oh, it's not getting through all. Let's see, how can I work with this? Or I'm just going to cut it off. Let's see. It unravels itself while I am with the last hole. Not exactly what I want. Will I put it all through? Let's see if I can do this, and just maybe put some glue on it. So this is how I did it. Just did some little bit of glue to make a sharp point, and then let's see. Yes, this is working. And then I wanted to go through here, so I have the strings on the bottom. And now I just have to see how wide I need to have this. Okay, so I'm going to cut it for now I'm going to cut it like this, so I don't have this very long piece. And now for the piece I want to show you is also what I'm going to do in the next video, because what you can add to frames, and what I've been experimenting with. Just pin my glue before it dries out, is this. How do you like this? And I made some other ones, and this one I made especially because of the colors, something that will fit with this journal. And it's embossed, but it's like super glossy embossed, as you can see, and I will show you in the next video how to do this. This I will let you see on video. I'm not going to do it off camera. And then you can make some beautiful flowers and to go with the frame. So, and this, I just could not help myself, and I wanted to incorporate a flower into this frame. And I want to stick it through here gently, because these flowers are so brittle. That's why I started embossing them, to give these flowers some more stability. And maybe give it even a little dot of glue so it won't accidentally. And then maybe a knot. Do we want a bow in it or not? Maybe. Let's do a bow. Never done so many bows in projects like this, but a small one. Yes, I think this is nice. So I'm going to glue this one here, and the label I have here on the side. Glue that here, and then cut the twine. Gave a little bit of glue, I think, on the flower, because if something accidentally touches this, it could snap, because it's, if you can see how thin this is, it is really thin. So I'm going to give it a little dot of glue, and then I'm going to come back, and then we have the end result. So let me show you the end result. The first pages of this journal are realized. The first 2 pages. So this is the first page. As you can see, I have glued the frame. It had some difficulty. Glued the frame on with a nice flower. The label on top, and this is the first page. Then the second page with the 2 round frames, collage page, and this one. So the first pages are done. So up to the next ones, still frames, but with embossing techniques I'm going to show you. So see you in the next video, and thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions or if you want to comment on this video. Bye.